I'm gonna do it again because I got to break Kevin's new record. I got to get back on the stage because this new record that Kevin got, I got to have it back, Kevin.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. They tell you that there's no gatekeepers, but we keep seeing the same people open the gate.
Kevin Hart is undoubtedly one of the biggest comedians in the game right now. However, his name has recently been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. It seems like everyone's taking shots at him, especially his fellow black comedians. Comedy can be a brutal world where one moment you're being praised and the next you're being torn down with a few sharp words. It's no surprise that Kevin might be feeling a bit on edge. But why would someone as successful as Kevin be so worried about what other comedians are saying? Enter Eddie Murphy, the legendary comedian and actor. Rumor has it that Eddie is about to shed some light on Kevin's situation, hinting that there might be some serious dirt hiding in Kevin's past.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Earlier this year, comedian Cat Williams aired some of Kevin's laundry, and while Kevin tried to respond, it was clear he was rattled. Now, with Eddie and others supposedly gearing up to reveal even more, it looks like Kevin might be in for a tough time ahead. Eddie Murphy is known for being laid back and drama-free, much like the cool uncle at a family reunion. So if he's stepping into the fray to call out Kevin, you know it's serious. These two have a mutual respect and have even worked together on projects like Meet Dave. But that shared history isn't stopping Eddie from addressing what he sees as Kevin's issues. The shade being thrown at Kevin centers around whispers about his rise to fame.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
Rumors suggest that he may have cozied up to industry bigwigs, possibly stepping on a few toes along the way to get ahead. There are even more troubling whispers about questionable activities he might have been involved in. For starters, we have the soul exchanging business. A few years back, fans around the world were shocked by the news that comedian and actor Kevin Hart had been in a serious car accident.
The roof is crushed and the car is pretty totaled. Help's coming, guys, don't worry.
So there it is, the 911 call made by the witness who arrived at the Kevin Hart crash site.
On September 1st, 2019, Hart was riding in his 1970 Plymouth Barracuda when it veered off the road in Calabasas, California. The car rolled down an embankment, leaving Hart with severe back injuries. Crash was so bad that Hart had to undergo extensive surgery and faced a long road to recovery. This accident forced him to take a break from his busy career, worrying fans and friends alike. Despite the gravity of his injuries, Kevin Hart made an impressive comeback. He returned to work with renewed energy, but his recovery wasn't free from controversy and wild theories. In an interview with Men's Health magazine, Hart made a comment that set off a wave of speculation. He said, "Basically, what you realize is that you're not in control. No matter how much you think you're in control, you're not in control. At the end of the day, it can all be over." He added, "The version of me that you know now is different from the version of me before. That version of me is dead. I'm a different person." These words, especially the part about "that version of me is dead," led to rumors and conspiracy theories. Some people started to believe that Hart's accident might have been more than just a tragic event. Word on the street was that his crash might have been part of a bizarre, soul-exchanging ritual. This theory, popular among some conspiracy enthusiasts, suggests that high-profile celebrities sometimes go through dramatic life events as part of a secret pact to achieve greater success. According to these theories, such incidents are symbolic, representing a rebirth or transformation. In Hart's case, the speculation is that the accident marked the end of his old self and the beginning of a new, more successful version. This idea fits into broader conspiracy theories that claim some celebrities achieve their fame through mysterious and dark means. Hart's career surged after the accident, which only fueled these theories. He landed new movie deals, comedy specials, and business ventures. To those who believe in the conspiracy, Hart's statement about being a different person was seen as a subtle admission of undergoing some transformative ritual. In any case, Kevin is not the first celebrity to undergo the alleged soul-exchanging ritual. A while back, actor and comedian Jamie Foxx went through a similar situation. In April 2023, Hollywood was rocked by the news that Jamie Foxx, the multi-talented actor, singer, and comedian comedian had been hospitalized due to a mysterious medical condition. The details surrounding Foxx's illness were scarce, leading to a whirlwind of speculation and concern among fans and the media.
Here's why I think Jamie Foxx died and was cloned by the industry. This is a before and after photo of Jamie Foxx being released from the hospital.
Foxx, known for his roles in blockbuster movies like Ray and Django Unchained, as well as his musical talent, suddenly vanished from the public eye. His family and representatives kept information tightly under wrap, only revealing that he had suffered a medical complication and was receiving treatment in a hospital. The lack of specifics prompted widespread worry and numerous theories about the nature of his ailment. Despite the secrecy, a few details trickled out. It was reported that Foxx was taken to a hospital in Atlanta, Georgia, where he was filming his latest movie, Back in Action, alongside Cameron Diaz. This added to the urgency of the situation, as it disrupted a major production. Sources close to Foxx's family indicated that his condition was serious, but that he was on the path to recovery. His daughter, Corinne Foxx, took to social media to thank fans for their prayers and support, while also asking for privacy during this challenging time. Throughout his hospitalization, rumors circulated about the potential causes of his sudden illness. Some speculated it could be related to a stroke or a heart condition, while others guessed it might involve complications from previous health issues. These rumors, however, were never confirmed by his family or medical team. As the weeks went by, updates remained minimal, with only occasional reassurances from Foxx's family that he was recovering. The entertainment industry and fans worldwide were left in the dark, relying on scant information and hoping for the best. Foxx's co-stars and friends expressed their concern and support publicly, emphasizing their hope for his swift recovery. In late May 2023, more positive news emerged. Jamie Foxx was reportedly on the mend and had been moved out of the hospital to continue his recovery at a rehabilitation facility. This development was a relief to many, signaling that the might be over. However, the exact nature of his illness remained undisclosed, maintaining an air of mystery around the entire episode. But that's not even the most shocking part. You see, at the most recent African American Film Critics Association Awards, held at the Los Angeles Athletic Club, Foxx was awarded the AAFCA's Producers Award, during which he gave a touching acceptance speech. During the speech, Foxx joked about his severe health scare and how it made him appreciate the daily pleasures life brings. He also joked about how he passed away while fighting for his life at the time. Foxx said, "Cherish life, man. I have some people in my life that really made sure I was here because it was dire straits. So I value, I'm telling you, my daughter thinks sometimes I'm too thankful nowadays because I'm just so thankful. I was drinking some water. Wow, have you tasted this water? It's so wet. This is the wettest water. Was it like this before I passed away?" The actor quipped. Foxx's remark, particularly the phrase, "before I passed away," caught the attention of most fans online. His comment was seen as a veiled reference to a profound change he underwent during his illness. To these fans, Foxx's experience was not just a medical crisis, but a pivotal moment of transformation, marking the end of his old self and the emergence of a new one. In any case, Cat Williams has not been silent about the shady things happening in the comedy industry. In fact, he has been quite vocal about Kevin Hart. During an episode of the Club Shay Shay podcast, Cat boldly labeled Kevin as an industry plant. He highlighted the rapid trajectory of Kevin's career, including landing a sitcom and starring in Soul Plane, all within his first year in LA. Cat's perspective raises doubts and adds an air of mystery to Kevin's early career. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person, he continued, saying. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definition of these words.
Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? What do you think a plant is?
For those of you who don't know about the ongoing showdown between Cat Williams and Kevin Hart, feud goes back to the movie Fool's Gold in 2008. Cat Williams was supposed to star, but his legal issues made him pass on the opportunity to shoot in Australia. So Kevin Hart stepped in and took the role instead. Word on the street is that's where the tension between Williams and Hart started brewing. Cat didn't hold anything back when he spilled the tea. He openly expressed concerns about letting people who might not be entirely honest control their own narratives without any checks and balances businesses. He talked about how messed up it is that these dishonest folks have all the resources, leaving the rest of us struggling to keep up. And he's not buying the idea that having tons of resources means you're telling the truth. According to Kat, it's a real problem letting these shady characters run amok with their stories, especially when they've got loads of resources at their disposal. But Kat isn't oblivious to the fact that speaking out could get him in trouble. He knows people might see him as just another bitter, jealous comedian behind his back. When asked if he feared any backlash, Williams responded, "Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is to act like it didn't happen." The whole Kevin Hart is an industry plant theory goes back to a Hollywood rumor that's been circulating for quite a while. There's this talk that entertainers are kind of blackmailed into wearing a dress on screen, almost like a rite of passage before they can level up in the fame game. And it's not just Cat Williams who's been talking about this. Even Dave Chappelle has touched on it. In 2006, during an appearance on Oprah, Dave spilled the tea about why he turned down a whopping $50 million deal from Comedy Central. He wasn't in it just for the money because, as he explained, big bucks often come with some serious strings attached. Dave, being in the showbiz game since he was 14, had seen and heard stories about what happens behind the scenes. He pointed out examples like Mariah Carey landing a $100 million deal only to end up mysteriously labeled as crazy a few months later, or Martin Lawrence making it big and then suddenly waving a gun on the street about someone trying to K him. It's those stories that had Dave cautious. When Oprah grilled him about these tales, Dave spilled the beans. He'd seen this scenario play out before. Always when someone's career was teetering on the edge of a breakthrough, Dave felt the heat to churn out sketches that didn't just make people laugh with him, but laugh at him. It felt like they were asking him to embarrass himself just to cash in. Dave Chappelle even remembered being asked to don a dress for a movie he was doing with Martin Lawrence. He walks into his trailer, spots the dress, and thinks there's been a mix-up. But nope, it's for a scene where Martin's character disguises Dave as a hooker to break out of jail. Dave's like, "Nope, not happening. That wasn't part of the deal." They tried to push him, saying it's comedy gold, but Dave stood his ground, saying he didn't need a dress to be funny. Things got heated with the writers, directors, and producers all pressing, but Dave stuck to his. In the end, they scrambled to come up with a new scene sans dress, leaving Dave to wonder, how did you whip that up so fast? Dave just didn't feel right about it. It wasn't about the dress itself, but he felt like the industry was pushing black artists into roles they weren't comfortable with just to make it big. They kept pressuring him until they realized he wouldn't give in. Going through this made Dave see things differently. It took being asked to wear a dress for him to realize he wasn't alone. Other black men had faced the same pressure. Think about Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's House, Eddie Murphy in the Nutty Professor movies, and Jamie Foxx's unforgettable Wanda in Living Color. Even the Wayans brothers tried it with White Chicks. And remember Juana Mann? Not as successful, but still part of the mix. And then there's Tyler Perry, who really took the cake with his Medea franchise. Meanwhile, Kevin was all about artists protecting their reputation, setting boundaries, and not compromising. He was sticking to his principles without any dress drama. When the topic of wearing a dress for a role came up, Kevin was clear, "Nope, haven't dealt with that dress situation. You gotta know your limits and keep your brand intact." He was all about avoiding anything that could harm his image. Kevin even mentioned turning down a request to do something silly on a talk show because it wouldn't fit his brand. He was all about protecting it.
Definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
But here's where it gets interesting. Just a year later, boom, Kevin's on an SNL skit rocking a dress.
Is 9-year-old Oscar nominee Kevin Walla.
Fans were not having it. Accusations of selling out and being fake started flying around. But here's where it gets tricky. Kevin, in defense mode, starts saying nobody forced Martin Lawrence into Big Mama's House, or Tyler Perry into Medea, or Jamie Foxx into Wanda's dress. It was a choice, according to Kevin.
I was actually one of those comedians that said, "No, I wouldn't wear a dress. There's no way I would wear a dress." And then when proposed with the opportunity of what I felt was funny, I said, "Oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it." It's all about choice. Nobody makes you do anything. Right. Nobody says this is what you got to do. This is the only way that you're going to do it.
He's hitting us with the "it's all about choice" narrative, but then there's this counter argument floating around. People are saying it's not just a matter of choice. Kevin himself wasn't okay with the idea before the money talks began. When the cash starts rolling in, suddenly integrity takes a back seat. It's like money becomes this magical thing that makes people do stuff they swore they'd never do. And truth be told, when that paycheck comes into the picture, folks tend to reveal their true colors. Remember when Steve Harvey dropped that bomb about integrity? He straight up said, "Give me 10 million and I'll embarrass myself all the way to the bank." He was willing to throw his integrity out the window for a hefty paycheck. It's a harsh reality, but hey, he put it out there.
10 million. For 4 million, black people will be so embarrassed by my performance, you'll be sitting up there just going, look at this big lip.
Now, back to Kevin Hart. After he did the dress thing, his career went through the roof. He became the highest paid comedian ever, raking in cash like no one else. It's like the dress move was the golden ticket to success in the comedy game. People might argue about the sacrifice of integrity, but at the end of the day, Kevin's laughing all the way to the bank. Anyway, Cat Williams is not the only person who has called out Kevin Hart for his shadiness. Monique also recently dropped bombshells about how Kevin supposedly ditched her when she was going through some real rough times, facing the heat from big names like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. And if that isn't enough to raise your eyebrows, there's talk that Kevin's been cozying up to both Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey to climb the Hollywood ladder. Back in 2021, there was this memorable episode on Kevin Hart's Comedy Gold Mines podcast where he had the legendary Monique as his guest. They delved deep into Monique's life, her rise in the comedy scene, and where she stands today in her career. Now, if you're not familiar with it, Monique has had some long-standing issues with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, and trust me, we'll get into that later, so hang tight. During their conversation, Monique opened up about the struggles her family faced, describing it as being up against the wall. It was then that Kevin Hart, being the stand-up guy he is, stepped in to offer his support. He expressed to Monique that she's like family to him, a mother, an aunt, a sister rolled into one. And Hart didn't just stop at comforting words, he took action. Now, Hart admitted he didn't really know Oprah Winfrey personally, but he promised Monique that he'd reach out to Tyler Perry, and he did just that. After a heartfelt conversation with Perry, Hart came back to Monique with some promising news. Perry was ready to bury the hatchet and move past the drama. Hart, being the voice of reason, urged Monique to do the same. He told her, "Let's leave all that negativity in the rearview mirror, Mo. We've got bigger things to accomplish together." But Hart's generosity didn't stop there. In a conversation with Shannon Sharp, Monique revealed that Hart not only offered emotional support, but also extended a professional hand. He proposed to partner with her and even offered to executive produce any project she wanted to bring to life. Monique recounted Hart's words, saying, "Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he didn't want to revisit it, but I'll tell you what, let's move past that, Mo. Let's just do great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever you want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know."
I want you to hear me, Kevin Hart. Let's move past that, Mo. Let's do some great things together. Don't even worry about it. Whatever y'all want to do, I will partner with you. I'll executive produce with you. You just let me know what you want to do.
She also spilled the beans about how Kevin came through big time, lending her a hefty sum of cash. And get this, she even returned it with interest. But here's where it gets juicy. After Hart promised to help her get her talk show back on track. Naturally, Monique was stoked, and who wouldn't be? Having Kevin Hart as a producer could skyrocket any project. So she excitedly tells her producers and Endemol, her media production company, and they're all on board, thrilled at the prospect of working with such a big star. But, plot twist, 2 weeks later, Monique gets hit with some devastating news. Endemol drops the bombshell that Kevin Hart's manager, Dave Becky, gave them a ring to say that Kevin had cold feet. Monique picks up the phone, hoping for an explanation from Hart himself. And what does she get? A vague reassurance. "We'll talk Tuesday, don't worry about it," he says.
That's a miscommunication, and we're going to talk Tuesday. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, it's a miscommunication. That was 2 years ago. If you talk to him, I talk to him. I've never talked back to Kevin Hart again.
Fast forward 2 years and Monique still hasn't heard a word from Kevin. But wait, here come the armchair detectives. Some fans are crying foul, suggesting that maybe Kevin never intended to help Monique in the first place. Adding fuel to the fire, the rumor mill is buzzing with tales about Kevin allegedly selling his soul to the likes of Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Supposedly, if he had helped Monique revive her career, it would have jeopardized his own standing in Hollywood. Now, let's circle back to her previous beef with Oprah and Tyler Perry. This drama dates back to 2009 when Monique starred in Precious, a movie produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry and directed by Lee Daniels. The real conflict began when Oprah and Tyler insisted Monique should promote the film globally without any additional pay. Monique wasn't having it and straight up said, "Nah, not in my contract." According to Monique, she was only paid a mere $50,000 for the entire movie, which was barely enough. Now they wanted her to fly around the world promoting the film for free? not on Monique's watch. Oprah and Tyler didn't take her refusal well at all. Instead, they began tarnishing her reputation in the industry, spinning a narrative that she was difficult to work with. Monique spilled the tea, saying Tyler Perry told her, "You may want to consider promoting this film because if you get nominated for an Oscar, your next film is $3 to $5 million. And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. Monique was like, "Hold up, I'm a black woman. Where are they paying those salaries, brother?" She straight up told Tyler, "I can't work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I can't go overseas and do this for free." Their back and forth continued, with Tyler saying he doesn't believe in giving money away for free, and Monique firing back, "I don't believe in working for free. So we on the same page?" It's a classic case of clash in values, and Monique wasn't backing down.
Says, "Well, I don't believe in giving money away for free." I said, "I don't believe in working for free, so we on the same page."
She also claimed Tyler Perry allegedly went the extra mile to mess with her acting gigs. According to Monique, it all went down after she turned down a request to fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival, tied to promoting the movie Precious. So check it. The movie studio initially asked her to jet off to France, but Monique, with her busy schedule as a talk show host, comedian, and family woman, respectfully declined. They tried to sweeten the deal by offering to upgrade her hotel room, but she and her husband stuck to their guns, saying, "Nah, we're gonna spend this time with our family." She said, "Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband and I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I am going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part." So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with. When the third call came and they asked, "What's it going to take to get Monique to France?" Her husband straight up asked, "Is there a number associated with it?" That's when they dropped the bomb that they would never pay for anyone to do promotions for a movie. Monique revealed she was paid a mere $50,000 for Precious, and it wasn't about the money. She signed up to do it with her friend. The interviewer dug in, suggesting she needed the money to feed her family and pay bills, and Monique responded, "I think that's what America says. We all say, I can't do it for free." She explained that when the movie studio refused to pay for her Cannes appearance, they didn't make a fuss. But then the reports started flying, painting Monique as demanding and difficult. The whole thing boiled down to a simple request that they understood couldn't be met. But suddenly, Monique found herself labeled, and that's where the drama kicked in.
Understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining because I signed up to do it with my friend. It says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this. We didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult.
Anyway, it is crucial to emphasize that Kevin Hart's comedic talent is a genuine and undeniable facet of his success. His ability to connect with audiences through humor is a fundamental factor that initially drew the attention of Hollywood decision makers. Marketing and promotion, in this context, served as tools to amplify his existing talent and extend his reach to a broader and more diverse audience. The recognition of Kevin Hart's potential as a bankable star by Hollywood executives and marketing teams was grounded in his innate comedic prowess. They saw him as a valuable asset and invested heavily in promoting his brand, which included booking him for larger venues and casting him in high-profile movies and television shows. This strategic approach was designed to capitalize on Hart's existing talent while also expanding his visibility and influence in the entertainment industry. In any case, while we cannot deny that there is a possibility that Hart's success is purely out of his hard work and determination, we still cannot ignore Kat's claims on him being a puppet, since it is kinda strange that Kevin rose to stardom after accepting the industry demands. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.